Welcome back to the RMAC Showcase, coming to you from the Colorado Springs Marriott Hotel. The Colorado Springs City Auditorium is one of the most historic venues in all of Colorado. Built in 1922, it last hosted a basketball game before last year, back in 1970, and it was the Harlem Globetrotters. But UCCS is working with the city of Colorado Springs to try to rejuvenate the old facility. UCCS taking on CSU Pueblo in the second annual Downtown Classic. It's like taking a trip back in time when you go to the Colorado Springs City Auditorium, a facility that's been mainly dormant for decades, but folks at UCCS are trying to breathe new life back into this old building.
It's part of the university reaching out to downtown. It's a very important part of UCCS and bringing our basketball teams once a year downtown.
Brian Burnett is the Senior Executive Vice Chancellor at UCCS, a Colorado Springs native, and a big reason the Mountain Lions are now playing an annual game at the City Auditorium.
We actually spent the money this year to refinish the floor, and it's very exciting. It's an old building. It was built in 1923. When it was built in 1923, believe it or not, most of the people in Colorado Springs could fit inside this building.
It wasn't easy getting this place ready for official NCAA Division II basketball. New scoreboards were installed, and new baskets, complete with the mandatory shot clock and game clock, were mounted on them. It also doesn't hurt when the home team wins. On this night, the UCCS men and women swept their rivals in CSU Pueblo. Some people know Shane Carwin as a superstar of the UFC, while others might know him as a mild-mannered engineer in the town of Greeley. Some people know him as an All-American football player, while others think of him as a national champion wrestler. He's from Western State, and he's from Colorado Mines, and all are right. And now the NCAA is honoring Carwin as part of the Division II 40th anniversary all-time team.
Hi, my name is Shane Carwin. I graduated from Western State College with a degree in environmental technology. When I came to Western State, I wanted to compete in both sports. I loved the game of football, and I loved wrestling. They gave me the opportunity to do both sports.
Just an amazing individual. I would say probably the greatest, one of the greatest athletes that ever graced the fields and the mats here at Western State College, and one of the best wrestlers that I've ever had the opportunity to coach.
How did I perfect that balance? When you're here in college at Western and I was competing in both sports, it was a morning to night job.
As a three-time finalist and a national champ, just really grew throughout the years, and then obviously as a two-time All-American in football.
To be able to give back to these kids and come back to the programs when they can see a familiar face and what that person has become and who they are and what they've been able to accomplish in their life.
As they see him every day on the wall, I think the guys have so much respect for him. And what's great is they get to see a guy like Shane that's been so successful after college and with a successful job as an engineer and what he's done with his life.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3, family!
This is still his roots. He's got blue collar, grassroots. He'll never forget where he came from.
Coach Wags, I do consider him my dad. I tell him I love him, and I would say Wags was probably the most influential man in my life.
He breaks a lot of stereotypes, and that's one of the things that I love about Shane. It's very important to me, and I always stress the academics. We work a lot of times with first-generation college students, and to be able to use intercollegiate athletics as a vehicle in which you can reach a lot of those students, they begin to see value in education and value in what they're going to do later.
I just feel like, Western was the perfect fit for me. My wrestling career at Western really developed me into becoming who I am today, academically and athletically.
To show that you can get the best experience that you need at a Division II level, the co-educational experience and the balance of Division II here at Western, and they can see it. It's a living proof of seeing that.
We're a better place because of Shane Carwin. That translates and transcends to the other Mountaineers to emulate and live up to, and we stand on the shoulders of people like him.
Shane was inducted into the RMAC Hall of Fame back in 2010. This year, we have another star-studded class. Cheryl Bates-Olson is our first profile of the class of 2014. She was one of the greatest soccer players in RMAC history. When Cheryl Bates arrived to play soccer in Grand Junction back in 1997, she helped build the program from the ground up. Literally, they didn't even have a field.
We had to get in our cars, whoever had cars, and pile in and drive about 10 minutes out of town, or about 10 minutes, and we played in like an open farmland.
Megan Marsh and Cheryl go way back, long before they were teammates at then Mesa State College.
I've gotten to play with her since we were 13 years old, and I got to play with her and I got to play against her in high school, and she was amazing. She was not fun to play against, though. I'd rather her be on my team. We played on a club team called North Glen Thunder. There was about 5 or 6 of us that were recruited from Jim Buchan, the coach at Mesa State. And we all went as kids and had a great time. We won, and he brought us together as a team.
Buchan used the Thunder to build his program on, and the centerpiece was Bates. By the time she graduated, Bates was 2-time RMAC Player of the Year. She was named first-team All-RMAC 4 times, and she earned 2 All-American accolades and went on to the RMAC Women's Soccer All-Time Team in 2009.
My dad would say that Cheryl Bates is just the best athlete he's ever seen. So she was all around a great athlete. She could play, run, anything.
As a team, Bates led the Mavericks to 3 RMAC tournament titles and 3 NCAA Division II playoff appearances. Despite all her success, there's still a feeling that Bates' ability might not truly be appreciated.
I do think Cheryl was a very underrated player, and I know she could have played, she wanted to be at a Division I program if she really cared about that part of it, but she didn't. She just loved to play. And when I say she found her home at Mesa, she did. She fit her life became, Mesa State.
Bates is a pioneer for Mesa women's soccer. She played on their first ever team. She's the first 2-time RMAC Player of the Year, and now she is the first soccer player, man or woman, to be inducted into the RMAC Hall of Fame. Cheryl Bates-Olson, RMAC Hall of Fame class of 2014. Still ahead on the showcase, we talk about another all-time RMAC soccer great as Tesho Akindele gets drafted by the MLS. Coming up next, baseball and softball previews. Stay right there.